Good morning. It's coming up on 6:30. I'm Lauren Hall. Melissa and Pete have the morning off. Here's what's ahead this half hour on Daybreak. As we enter a new decade, New York is still suffering from the worst population loss in the country. Plus, after an injury, a former Texan will be stepping up in a big way against his old team for the Bills. And New Year's resolutions. We spoke with Western New Yorkers last night about their thoughts as 2020 gets underway.
From the station that's on your side, you're watching Channel 2's Daybreak.
And welcome to 2020. This was the scene in downtown Buffalo last night as crowds gathered for the annual ball drop at the Electric Tower. Thousands were on hand for the massive fireworks display as we say goodbye to the old decade and officially move into the 2020s. We got to get used to saying that. Once again, good morning. I'm Lauren Hall, and I'm here with Storm Team 2 meteorologist Patrick Hammer. Always such a beautiful scene on New Year's Eve downtown. Really.
We got to create our own fireworks.
Yeah.
For the, well.
Just set some off on the roof this morning. No one will even notice.
There we go. Let's launch. The general manager will never know. Anyway, yeah, the fireworks are over. The skies are still, though, a little hazy with clouds and maybe a few snow showers out there. In fact, it's 30 degrees dry right now in Buffalo. But there it is. There's the snow developing across the southern tier. A little light snow into Buffalo, too. We've had a few flurries. The southern sections will see more snow today. That's why we have a winter weather advisory there. So it is snowy in Dunkirk and Fredonia, heading over towards Cassadaga, Gowanda, down towards South Dayton into Randolph, Jamestown getting a little light snow. Also Collins into Springville. Then you get north of 20A and it pretty much shuts down with a few flurries up towards Grand Island. This system again is going to track to the east, but some lake snows may drift north a little bit during the day today. So we're going to see a few snow showers. Winter weather advisory until 1 o'clock, a few more inches again for the southern tier. Temperatures are cool, not cold. We're right around 30. So not a bad day for travel, just some snow-covered roads to the south, temperatures into the 30s, a little breezy as well. More rain is coming, but then more snow. We'll talk about that in your full forecast coming up. I don't think we're doing traffic today, right? Because there's like 2 cars on the road. No, 3. We just got a report there's the 3rd. Anyway, we'll have your 7-day coming up.
Thanks, thanks, Patrick, for that weather and traffic together. As we begin the new decade, New York State is the biggest loser once again when it comes to population loss. The Census Bureau shows the Empire State lost nearly 77,000 people last year. This is the 4th consecutive year of the population decline. And looking back even further, New York has lost about 1.4 million people since 2010. There was also a major drop in public school enrollment to the lowest number of students in 30 years. In terms of political power, we could lose 1 or 2 congressional seats because of this. State officials say the population drop reflects older people moving south, but they also say a rebound may be on the way.
Well, what I find most optimistic is the fact that younger people are either moving back to West New York or staying here. That's the highest spike we've had in people between the ages of 23 and 45. They're rediscovering the downtowns that we have throughout upstate New York, but it's really benefiting Western New York.
On the other hand, the Buffalo-Niagara Partnership says what it calls Albany's tax, spend, and regulate agenda is causing a lot of New Yorkers to move. Well, here in Western New York, you might have noticed boats out searching the Niagara River near the North Grand Island bridges yesterday. It was part of a strange investigation. Police say there was a man that called them overnight to say someone was breaking into his pickup truck on West River Shore Drive. Then he started chasing the alleged thief, who jumped into the river to swim towards Buffalo Avenue. They say based on witness accounts, they aren't sure if the man ever got out of the water, but they're still investigating. Now to some development news. Several parts of DeGraff Memorial Hospital will be going up for sale in the new year. Kaleida Health announced yesterday that it's retained a real estate firm to look at finding a new use for the 5-story hospital in North Tonawanda. The hospital will keep its newly renovated emergency department and skilled nursing facility open. But Kaleida says the big decline in patients there over the last decade has it looking to sell the space. The new year brings a new 3rd term in office for the Erie County Executive, Mark Poloncarz. He was formally sworn in yesterday, surrounded by various public officials, as well as family and friends. Poloncarz spoke of past achievements in the county's economy, healthcare, along with tougher restrictions on tax breaks for job creation. He also pressed for expansion of high-tech infrastructure.
We will invest in the creation of ErieNet to improve broadband access and choice in our community so Erie County is not left behind in the global, technologically rich economy of today.
The county executive also talked about upcoming challenges like the future of the convention center downtown and a new lease with the Buffalo Bills. Taking a look at headlines around the world now, the situation at the U.S. Embassy in Baghdad remains tense as American security forces maintain control this morning. Angry supporters jumped the outer wall there yesterday after deadly airstrikes targeting an Iran-backed militia. U.S. officials said approximately 100 Marines will be deployed to ensure the safety of the Americans at the embassy. And this picture has a whole class of West Virginia correctional officer cadets looking for new jobs. The photo shows 33 cadets and 3 instructors giving a Nazi salute during a training earlier this month. The governor of that state announced they'd all be fired after investigation into the photo. A Kansas police officer is also out of his job over a Facebook post that went viral and turned out to be fake. You may have seen this post or stories about it. The officer claimed that a McDonald's employee gave him a coffee cup with the word pig written on it. But after police looked into it, they found that the officer actually wrote it himself. He has resigned from his position.
I truly hope that the former officer of the Harrington Police Department that did this, I hope he understands the magnitude of the black eye that this gives the law enforcement profession from coast to coast.
The police chief there says he's talked to the DA about it, but at this point there aren't any plans to file charges. The U.S. military is getting pretty concerned about the app TikTok, the popular app that everyone uses to make viral videos. It's owned by China, and the military is concerned that it could be a cyber threat here in the U.S. The Army just banned its service members from putting the app on any government-owned phone. The Navy recently did the same thing. TikTok hasn't commented on the bans yet. Well, the countdown is on to Saturday afternoon when the Bills face the Texans, and when Kevin Johnson was drafted in the first round by Houston in 2015, there's no way he could have imagined that he'd be with the Bills preparing to play against his old team in a wild card game. He was drafted to be the shutdown corner for Houston, and while that didn't end up working out, he's made himself a valuable part of the Bills secondary. Heather Prusak has that story for us.
Well, it seems like Kevin Johnson is getting ready to play his biggest role with the Bills up to this point in Saturday's wildcard game in Houston. That's because it looks like he'll start opposite of Tre'Davious White after Levi Wallace suffered an ankle injury in Sunday's game against the Jets. He didn't practice on Tuesday and was seen wearing a walking boot after the game, so his status doesn't look good for Saturday, and if he can't go, then it's Kevin Johnson to take his place.
It's a big game. It's what you as a kid, you grow up, you dream about playing in big games, and this is one of those games. So, like you said, keeping your emotions, where they need to be, and going out there and be able to execute to the best of your ability.
Johnson's heading back to Houston to face the team that drafted him in the first round back in 2015. Now, he only played 18 games during his 4 years there because of a number of injuries. And while he's excited to see some of his former teammates, he says his focus is with the Bills.
Going in there, I'm going to be excited to play, but at the same time, I'm a professional. Like I told you earlier, my goal is to win the game, and I'm going to be best prepared to do that.
Taron Johnson also left Sunday's game, but I asked him if he's good to go for Saturday. He says he is, and that's great news for the Bills, considering they need their secondary as healthy as possible going against guys like Deshaun Watson and DeAndre Hopkins. We know what a tough challenge that's going to be come Saturday. In Orchard Park, Heather Prusak, Channel 2 Sports.
Thank you to Heather. And coming up Friday night at 7:30 here on Channel 2, we will have a special edition of Sports Talk Live Buffalo. Sports director Adam Benini will be joined by Buffalo News Bills beat writers Vic Carucci and Jay Skursky. They'll be live in Houston as they preview the big Bills-Texans game. And sticking with sports now, today the Winter Classic heads south. The Nashville Predators and the Dallas Stars will play outdoors at the Cotton Bowl in Texas. Temperatures are expected to get up into the mid-50s by game time, and you can watch it right here on Channel 2 beginning at 1 o'clock this afternoon. And Patrick, I think that the NHL must have seen that game the Sabres played against the Rangers in New York a couple years ago when it was so cold, and they're like, we're going south for a couple years.
I know, it's kind of weird to see them flooding the rink, right? And it's like in the 50s. But, it spreads the love, I think, of hockey Two
Yeah.
warmer climes, and when they play outside, kind of cool.
Two great hockey markets, Dallas and Nashville.
No doubt about that. Yeah, that's true. We're going to be heading to Texas as well with our other franchise, of course, Houston. Big game coming up Saturday. Looks like, yeah, we got our work cut out for us, especially with J.J. Watt coming back. Wait, am I to do weather or sports? What do I do here? Let's get to weather. Focus. We got Mr. Bonini here to analyze the Bills for you, and Heather too. We've got temperatures today that'll be cool but not terribly cold. There will be some lake effect snow showers out there this morning as we. Hey, Alana, I may need you to advance my little maps here as there seems to be a gremlin in the system. Hit the space bar and it'll show you this wonderful purple prose. Lake effect snow showers today, for today, cool but not cold as I mentioned, and some sunshine and mild temperatures coming, it looks like, for tomorrow. So there we go with radar. You can see some of the snows across the southern tier, and that's where the focus will be. However, some of that light snow will lift north to Buffalo, it looks like, as we head on to the afternoon. The forecast on Future Look does show the lake effect kind of winding down, but some of it will kind of flirt with Buffalo later on today. Nothing much expected, no travel issues, and then we're off to some sunshine tomorrow. We'll have a look at the weekend forecast. More rain coming, but more snow too. We'll take a look at the next 7 days. That's coming up.
Thanks, Patrick. Also coming up right here on Daybreak, what are your plans for the new year? We asked and you answered as we welcomed in 2020. That's straight ahead. Welcome back. We are celebrating the new year in Western New York. I hope you had a good one last night as we end the 2010s and begin the 2020s. A lot of you were getting ready to ring in the new year and maybe set some of your resolutions too. Photojournalist JT Messenger stopped by the family-friendly First Night Buffalo event last night at the Convention Center. He shares everyone's thoughts in their own words.
New Year's resolution.
It's time to think of one.
Ooh, New Year's
Travel.
resolution. Yes. More money, more traveling, more family time.
To spend more time with my family.
Do a better job exercising.
Lose a lot of weight.
Get out more, be a little more exercise instead of just sitting in the house binge watching Netflix.
Guys, I'm like on channel 2. Don't put this on the news. Literally, seriously. I'm a shy person.
I don't know, I guess just to be happy, continue exercising.
Tackling all my goals that I wish I would have accomplished before, but now I'm more focused, so.
My New Year's resolution is to definitely make more snowmen.
And my New Year's resolution is to not bring so much snow to Buffalo.
It's working so far.
Eat healthier, get more exercise.
To be honest, our New Year's resolution is to have a happy family for the rest of this year, and for the next year, and for the rest of our years too.
I was gonna say get a new phone.
Being with family and friends and having fun.
2 healthy kids, great family. Can't get any better than that.
Well, if that doesn't put a smile on your face this morning, I don't know what will. Thank you to photojournalist JT Messenger for putting that together for us. We also wanted to see what our viewers were most interested in this past year, and we put together a list of our top 10 most read stories on WGRZ.com. Just look for it on the right side of our website's main page and on our mobile app. The time now is 6:47, and it's time for today's Daybreak Rundown. This morning, sweeping criminal justice reforms are going into effect in New York State. They are also among the most controversial of the new laws going into effect for the new year. Daybreak's Joshua Robinson joins us this morning with the final details to all the changes. Hey, Joshua.
Good morning, Lauren. Yeah, witnesses and victims in criminal cases are going to be required to share their contact information with the defendants accused or with their lawyers, among a number of other thorny topics. That includes eliminating cash bail for several nonviolent offenses. Governor Cuomo says that cash bail is unfair to the poor who, without means to post bail, will be forced to wait for trial behind bars. But opponents of the bill are quick to point out that nonviolent crimes requiring cash bails include crimes like manslaughter, criminally negligent homicide and several cases of assault, including aggravated assault of a child and many others. Now, jails being cleared out is another topic up for discussion this year, with the DA saying 100 inmates awaiting trial have been released in Erie County alone, with another 60 in Niagara County. Joshua Robinson, Channel 2 News.
Thanks, Joshua. New this morning, Buffalo firefighters were called to a reported fire in the city's Bryant neighborhood. This was the scene on Summer Street. It happened around 12:30 this morning between Delaware and Linwood. It's unclear if anybody was hurt or how large the fire got before it was contained. We're still learning more, and we'll bring you updates as we get them on air and online at WGRZ.com. We have new information this morning about an accident in the southern tier. Lakewood Bus-Dye police say one person is dead after being hit by a snowplow. Police say a vehicle was hit by a Chautauqua County plow on Big Tree Road in Bus-Dye yesterday. They say the person was pinned inside the vehicle and pronounced dead at the scene. The victim's name is not being released yet. Also new this morning, the Niagara County Sheriff's Office has released the name of a man killed in a crash in the town of Heartland. 58-year-old Thomas Wagner was killed in the head-on crash on Seaman Road around 7:30 on Monday night. No charges have been announced and the investigation continues. Following our report on flooded grave sites at St. Obidirt's Cemetery in Cheektowaga, the Buffalo Diocese showed up with pumps to try to clean up. The crews were using the pump yesterday morning, but the floodwaters had returned by the afternoon. Happening today in the city of Buffalo, new Common Council members will be sworn in. Mitch Nowakowski will represent the Fillmore District and Brian Bowman will represent Lovejoy. Both men will take their oaths during a ceremony at City Hall this afternoon. It's at 1 p.m. in council chambers. And today, New York State parks are encouraging people to get outside to start the new year. For the 9th year, the parks are holding dozens of guided nature walks across the state. That includes plenty around Western New York, from Allegheny State Park all the way up to Fort Niagara. More details can be found on the park's website. And the Sabres ended 2019 on a sour note. They blew a 3-goal lead, losing to Tampa Bay by a score of 6-4 last night. The Sabres did get goals from Connor Sheary, Marcus Johansson, Jimmy Vesey, and Jack Eichel. They couldn't stop the Lightning comeback. The Sabres are back home tomorrow night. Kind of a fitting end to the decade for the team, Patrick.
Yeah, kind of like, speaking of going out with a thud, Joshua Robinson. I'm kidding. I'm just kidding. He's leaving us today. He's staying in the Tegna family, going to that wonderful outpost of Barrow, Alaska. You're going to do great there. Really proud of you. No, heading to Spokane. Nice size market, a beautiful community, and a treasure Spokane is about to get with Joshua. We're going to miss you, buddy. Good luck to you. All right. He's been a good employee and a good friend. All right, and a heck of a curler, too. All right, snow showers today, less than an inch for Buffalo. Southern sections could see another few inches. Tomorrow, we're back to some sunshine. Friday, we bring in the rain. I know, the rain. But it does change to snow on Saturday. More on that coming up. A few snow showers on Sunday. Okay, you can clearly see the focus of the snow is across southern Erie County, northern Chautauqua County, northern Cattaraugus County, Holiday Valley, which, you know, this is a busy time of the year for Hollymont, Holiday Valley, Buffalo Ski Club, Kissing Bridge, all of it. Getting some snow today, or this morning especially, which is a good thing. Travel not too bad either. But again, this will be winding down. Some of it will lift north towards Buffalo this afternoon, but again, it won't be much as this whole system pushes out of here. Temperatures are going to be in the cool side today, 20s and 30s now, on our way to the low to mid 30s. Again, some snow-covered roads across the southern tier, but again, things are looking a little bit brighter by the afternoon as temperatures hold in the 30s. Future look shows the snow showers fading, but again, some of it will lift into the south towns, maybe as far north as Buffalo this afternoon, before it winds down, and then it clears out. Tomorrow, Thursday, looks like a lovely day as some, not all, some kids go back to school, and a lot of folks back to work if you're off today. So it looks pretty good. All right, in terms of additional snow today, again, a coating for Buffalo, 1 to 2 inches, southern Erie County, maybe 2 to 3 up to 4 across ski country. Here comes the next system. It's going to dive south, pick up some moisture and warmth, bring us some rain initially, and then some cold air is going to get involved. And the degree to which the cold air comes in will dictate how much rain versus snow we get Saturday. Friday's rain, okay? Here's future look for tomorrow. We thicken up the clouds. Here comes the rain on Friday. Doesn't look too terribly heavy at this point, but still another soaking rain. Then another wave of low pressure develops, and this is where things get interesting. We will likely start out on Saturday morning with some rain, but then possibly change to snow. Does it change to snow in the morning or in the afternoon? A little early to tell, but right now we're trending towards a colder solution with some accumulating snows later Saturday into Sunday, and then more next week. All right, up to 35, maybe a few snow showers. It'll be breezy. Back into the mid-40s tomorrow. We're in the upper 40s on Friday with some rain. Rain to snow Saturday, a few snow showers Sunday morning. Lake effect snows Monday. More widespread snow possible Tuesday. We're back in 60.
Welcome back. Before we go on this New Year's Day, we want to say goodbye to Joshua Robinson. He is headed back out west to be closer to family and work at our Tegna station, KREM, as morning news anchor. Congratulations. We're going to miss you.
I'm going to miss you guys too. I was hoping we wouldn't do a segment like this because I didn't want to get emotional on air.
Well, luckily we're out of time.
So right out. Okay, you'll see the true Joshua.
Good luck out there.
We're going to miss you guys.
Miss you guys too.
Bye,
Thank you, everybody, by the way. Appreciate it.